He, the artist himself, was married to my husband's aunt, his mother's sister. So he was an uncle by marriage. My husband knew him most of his life. Over the years, we were very close. My husband we had 4 children by 1963. We spent a lot of time with our children visiting the Lamottes. They kind of became an extra set of, I guess you'd call them surrogate grandparents to my children. And we were just very close. I mean, over the years, I attended most of his in the area, in New York City openings. I spent a lot of time with my children when they were young on site when he was doing paintings that had become famous. One was the paintings around the walls of the swimming pool room in the White House when John Kennedy was president. His father decided that it was not a very welcoming looking room and hired Mr. Lamotte to fix it up. And we actually sat in that room, in the pool room at one point, watched him doing some of the paintings. I remember coming back from a trip to Europe and telling him I saw a very famous painting in a museum, and I said to him, I didn't like it. I don't know why people think it's so great. And he looked at me and he said, art is personal. If you really like something, then it's good. It's great. It touches you. But if it doesn't, then you just leave it alone. So I've learned he was a post-impressionist, and I've learned how to enjoy his art. It's all over my house. My friends all know it. Kitchen, bathrooms, bedrooms, hallways, wherever there's a spot, there's a painting or two hanging. And he used to allow our children, and he didn't allow many people to sit in his studios when he was painting. He actually scheduled his day when he was painting. He scheduled his day just as anyone who had a job and went to work. And he would have certain hours when he was in the gallery painting. And when we were visiting, if we were visiting on any of the times when he was actually painting, he used to allow our children, even when they were little, to sit in his shop and watch him. And he'd give them little trinkets to amuse them, and, an old bugle or some old keys, which we still have, which he said are the keys from the Musketeers or something. They're still hanging in my house here somewhere. So he also not only gave me an introduction to art and a love of it, but he did the same thing for my children growing up, which I think was absolutely stupendous. I was very happy for it. At one point in my very early married life, he used to send Christmas cards to people who, I imagine they were people who had bought paintings and different clients. And they would be a very large, almost small poster-sized card. I took several of those and framed them. They were obviously not original paintings. And one time when he was in our house, he said to me, "What are you doing with all this junk on the walls?" And I said, "Well, I guess it's because we can't afford your paintings." Shortly after that, he gave me a painting for me personally that I still have and will never sell. Just keep it and pass it down to my children. When he reached a point when he was very much older, he sat my husband and I down and said, "I want to explain to you what you have to do with all this work when I'm gone." And he wasn't, to our knowledge, ill at the time, but I guess he was just feeling his age. we said, oh, we don't need to talk about things like that. And he said, yes, we do. And he told us exactly what he said. You are all I have here. I have no other family here. So when I'm gone, you have to help your aunt. And when she's gone, it'll be totally up to you. And this is how I want you to handle my paintings. At that point in time, we had a collection of his paintings. He said, everyone in the family has enough of my paintings. I want you to make sure that what's left is out for sale for people to see and enjoy. And that's what my husband and I both tried to do when he passed away. We helped his wife, my husband's aunt, to gather up all of his paintings from all over. There were something like 3,000 paintings that were in various galleries around the country, and there were many more in collections around the country and in museums and places like that. And then when she passed away, several years later, it came to us to do. Now my husband is gone also, and this is what I'm trying to do, is just to make sure that, way too many paintings for me or for my children to keep. And we'd like other people to have them, to enjoy them. And so this is why I keep trying to sell them. I've known Jessie for a long time, and she'd often said she wanted to do something. And what she decided to do is something that no other gallery has ever done. She said her gallery wasn't big enough for a lot of these huge paintings that I have. So Jessie chose to do a show of some of his original paintings, some drawings that we took out of a lot of his books that I have a collection of. She had a good idea. These are things people have not seen. They haven't been out in the marketplace for as many years as I can remember. And they are small. Some of them are oils. Some of them are drawings. Some of them are etchings. And I just thought that she had a great idea. It's very small in comparison to the huge shows he used to have for his very large paintings. But I just thought this would give people, maybe who could not afford a very large painting, a way to have something of his that was affordable. And that's what we're doing.